In a modest apartment on the outskirts of Moscow, a quiet stillness hung in the air, broken only by the soft ticking of an old clock on the wall. Isabella, a 19-year-old girl with warm hazel eyes brimming with dreams, sat at the kitchen table, staring into an empty teacup. Her long, golden hair cascaded over her shoulders, framing a face that carried a mix of hope and weariness. Raised in a struggling family, where her mother, Margaret, worked 2 jobs to support them, Isabella harbored a secret passion for painting. Yet, the harsh reality of their poverty and lack of encouragement made her doubt herself. "Who am I to dream?" she whispered to the shadows. That evening, Margaret's friend, Eleanor, visited their home. A widow with a gentle smile and deep lines etched into her face, Eleanor always seemed to carry an air of mystery. She brought a homemade pie and sat beside Margaret while Isabella cleared the dishes. The conversation drifted to everyday struggles, but then Eleanor's gaze settled on Isabella. Her eyes sparkled with something unspoken, and she offered a tender smile. Leaning closer, she whispered, "You are a light that can illuminate the world. Don't be afraid to burn, even in the darkness." Those words struck Isabella like a thunderbolt. She froze, feeling a spark ignite within her. Eleanor didn't elaborate, only patting her hand before leaving, her vanilla scent lingering in the air. Margaret shrugged, muttering, "Eleanor's always been a bit odd." But for Isabella, it was a turning point. That night, she lay awake, and by morning, she resolved to paint, no matter the obstacles. The next day, Isabella unearthed an old sketchbook and worn pencils she'd saved since childhood. She began to draw, tentatively at first, then with growing confidence. Landscapes of her youth, portraits of her mother, scenes from her dreams, each stroke was a cry of her soul. A friend from college encouraged her to display her work at a local fair. Isabella hesitated, but Eleanor's whisper echoed in her mind, "Don't be afraid to burn." The fair exceeded her wildest expectations. Her artwork caught the eye of Mikhail, an elderly gallery owner. "Your soul lives in these drawings," he said. "Let's arrange an exhibition." Isabella could hardly believe it. With Mikhail's help, she organized her first show, and people came, not crowds, but enough to sell a few pieces. One painting, a portrait of her mother under rain, sold for 1,000 rubles, a fortune for their family. Yet fate tested her. Margaret fell ill, and the earnings went toward medical bills. Isabella worked days at a cafe and painted nights, exhaustion threatening to break her. One evening, as she nearly gave up, Eleanor appeared again. "You're tired," she said softly. "But light doesn't fade in the wind, it grows stronger. Keep going." Isabella wept, but those words fueled her resolve. A year later, a miracle unfolded. Her exhibition in central Moscow drew the attention of a renowned collector who bought every piece and offered a contract. The money healed her mother and allowed Isabella to open a studio. She rose as a celebrated artist, her paintings narrating struggle and hope. Yet, she never forgot Eleanor's whisper. One day, while sorting through Margaret's belongings after her passing, Isabella found a letter. It was from Eleanor, written a month before that fateful visit. "Dear Isabella, I saw in you what you couldn't see yourself. My husband was an artist, and before he died, he asked me to find someone to carry his light. That's you. I leave you his brushes and the hope you'll become a star. Forgive me for not saying this sooner." Inside were old brushes and a sketch, a portrait of Isabella, drawn by an unknown hand. Tears streamed down her face, but they were tears of gratitude. She realized Eleanor's whisper was no accident, it was destiny. Isabella founded a foundation for young artists from poor families, naming it after Eleanor. Her paintings became symbols of resilience, each brushstroke a reminder of that life-changing moment. Standing before a packed crowd at a gallery opening, Isabella spoke. "My destiny began with a smile and a whisper that believed in me. May each of you find your own light." The applause rang out, and she knew Eleanor was watching from above, smiling. This story teaches us that sometimes fate arrives as a whisper from someone who sees more in us than we see in ourselves. Isabella became a light because someone believed in her flame, and that flame now shines, illuminating others. Thank you for watching this story till the end. Sparkles. If it touched your heart, please support us. Thumbs up, give it a like. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Bell, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us. Heart.